I ruined a wedding because the bride told everyone I was a homewrecker in love with the groom. Ada for wearing a white dress to a wedding after being specifically requested to by the bride. When I was 5, my family moved and my next-door neighbor turned out to be this girl Bella who was only a year older than me. We immediately connected and grew up thick as thieves. Even though I was a couple of hours away at college and Bella at home, we still remained close because she would come visit me frequently, stay with me, and we had great times. I met Barrett my sophomore year and realized we had a lot of friends in common. He was a smart, attractive guy, so we ended up hooking up a few times after study sessions. It was fun, but there wasn't really long-term chemistry, so we remained friends. We never even talked about dating. We weren't close after that, but we were on group text threads together and saw each other frequently at parties. During a party my senior year, I introduced Bella to Barrett and it was love at first sight for her. She interrogated me about him and I informed her of our history. She seemed pretty upset about the fact that we had hooked up, but I assured her that there was absolutely nothing romantic there and that she had my blessing to pursue him. She did, and after a few months, they started officially dating. Bella was over the moon and so in love with Barrett. After I graduated, I accepted a job 6 hours away from home while Bella and Barrett moved in together in my hometown. I visited them frequently at first, but life got busy, so we ended up seeing each other annually during the holidays. Last Christmas, my family hosted a Christmas Eve party with our two families at which Barrett proposed to Bella. It was a heartfelt proposal and everybody was thrilled for them. Bella wanted to talk about nothing but wedding planning that holiday and we had tons of fun brainstorming ideas together. There were no signs of what was to come. Over the course of the holidays, Bella kept mentioning that I would be her maid of honor and I was so thrilled to be formally asked. Except that never happened. In fact, she started screening my calls. I barely heard from her for months. Eventually, I received a save the date in the mail and still hadn't heard from her about whether I was in the wedding party, so I got her on the phone and asked her. I was pretty disappointed by the news. She told me that she had thought it through and didn't think that I should be in the wedding at all because I lived so far away. She thought it would make coordinating bridal events too difficult. Instead of me, she made her cousin her maid of honor, but she doesn't even like this cousin, so I didn't understand why she would give such an important role to someone she can't stand. Especially since I was her closest and oldest friend. I even introduced her to her fiancé. I wanted to be given a proper opportunity to be her maid of honor, so I told her that I could get the time off work, would buy plane tickets, whatever was required of me, to participate. I didn't think that it was going to be as challenging as she thought. She just told me her mind was set and she had already asked her cousin, so she couldn't go back on her word, even though she did months ago when she kept saying I would be her maid of honor. She then asked if I was going to be bringing someone to the wedding. I was a little confused by this question because I just had a bad breakup and she knew all about what went down. I told her that since I wasn't seeing anybody currently, I'd probably be attending solo. She told me that she would keep my +1 open until the last possible minute and encouraged me to try to find a date so I wouldn't be lonely. I thought this was a nice gesture, but reassured her that I would be fine with my family and friends in my hometown. The next few months passed by and I barely heard from Bella. This wasn't like her. I could have reached out more, but I was still hurt by the fact I wasn't in the wedding party. I also saw on social media that she had an engagement party that she had not told me about or invited me to. That also hurt, but I didn't say anything since I figured we were just growing apart. Then, 6 weeks prior to the wedding, I got a call from Bella. She told me that one of her bridesmaids had dropped out and she was hoping that I could fill in. I wouldn't be going to any of the events as those were already booked, but I would be in the wedding party. That was enough for me, so I gladly accepted. She told me that she was doing a reverse color palette for the bridal party where all of the bridesmaids and groomsmen were wearing white, and she and the groom were wearing black. This didn't seem that strange to me since Bella has always liked to stand out and has unconventional taste. She apologized for the late notice and asked if I could find a white dress in time. I had a white slip dress already, so I sent her a picture of it on the call to see if it would work. She verbally approved it and tagged it with a thumbs up on the text chain. The wedding was at noon, so we were supposed to meet to do hair and makeup at the venue at 8 a.m. I left my parents' home early and arrived in sweats with my dress in a bag. I greeted Bella and the other girls, then we drank champagne before getting ready. This was the closest I felt to Bella in months and I was having a lot of fun. About 2 hours prior to the ceremony, Bella told everybody to get our dresses on so we could do some pictures. I grabbed my bag and went into the bathroom to change. When I re-entered the room, every last bridesmaid was in a blue dress. I was the only one in white. My stomach dropped. My mind raced back to the conversation I had with Bella. She had said white, right? I hadn't misheard? No, I was certain. She had called out the reverse color scheme. I had Googled it. No, this was a setup. Bella was in the middle of the room in a bathrobe with a resigned look on her face. She said to her cousin, "I told you she was going to do something like this." Her cousin approached me and asked what I was wearing. I mumbled that Bella had told me to wear white. Bella stared back and huffed out a laugh. She said how of course I would have to make today all about me. The cousin started screaming at me, going off on me about how I was jealous, in love with Barrett, and how completely unhinged I was. Honestly, I froze at that moment. I had no idea what she was talking about, but I wouldn't have come to know the truth until much later.